My name is Mac. Welcome back. You're with the Rad Venturers. We're talking about e-bike stuff, rad ventures, and everything else that can affect you on your e-bike. Today, very sad to recollect something that happened to a mother in Florida. And now this mother is pushing for e-bike and e-scooter safety after her son's death. Let's get into it.
But we do begin here tonight with the growing concerns and the warnings coming from parents and doctors over electric bikes and scooters.
Yep.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome in to Tampa Bay 28 News at 5. I'm Paula Grome.
And I'm Lauren St. Germain. Thanks for joining us. Within the past few weeks, we've reported on 4 different crashes involving e-bikes or e-scooters in St. Pete alone.
This is just here in Florida, and they've been kind of following it to the point to where, you know, they're keeping us updated on the happenings, anything changing, and that's why we're interested in this, because as accidents happen, as bad things happen, things will change. E-bike laws will change. They might take things away. They might implement new laws. That's why we always got to be watching this stuff.
And these cases can leave people with serious injuries or even take their lives.
And tonight, Mary O'Connell had a conversation today with a local mother who lost her child in a wreck last year, and she's now on a personal mission to bring awareness for everyone.
That's unfortunate.
Michelle Lynch remembers her son Connor as the vibrant and enthusiastic kid who was full of ideas.
Connor
Sure he was
a 19-year-old. He was 3 weeks shy of his 20th birthday. He was going to have a
Wow.
wonderful life ahead of him.
Connor was hit and killed while riding an e-scooter last year.
That's
Still
unfortunate.
learning how to deal with it. I don't think it's anything anybody can anticipate.
Yet the reports of deaths or injuries from e-scooter or e-bike crashes continue.
So they lump them together still, which I'm not a fan of that. If you actually have ever ridden an e-scooter before versus an e-bike, man, once you get a little wobble, you're done, dude. It's like it's the death wobble. You guys know what I'm talking about. And I think by far e-scooters are way more dangerous than e-bikes. And I'll tell you why, man. First, right off the bat, you look at anybody riding e-scooters. Let me just back this up a bit, see if we can see. There you go. No helmets. Always, dude. Anybody on an e-scooter is usually not wearing a helmet. That's so dangerous. Second, just the way the way the handlebars are, right? It's a tiny little shaft connected to the wheel that just, the way it is, it's a wheel. It's a small wheel. So you get just a little bit of wobble like this, boom, death wobble, dunzos. I don't agree with always lumping these two together because one is way, way more dangerous than the other. Just saying.
Scooter or e-bike crashes continue.
It absolutely breaks my heart that there's another family going through what we have been through and something that feels avoidable.
I sat down to speak with
Agreed.
Dr. Ebony Hunter, a pediatric emergency medicine physician at Johns Hopkins All Children's.
We've seen at Johns Hopkins All Children's a significant increase. And
That's everywhere. Anytime you see a newsreel and then they bring in a medical expert, you know they're going to say, well, we've seen an increase in accidents since blah, blah, blah. We've seen an increase in these accidents since blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Well, something needs to be done, right?
and our e-bike injuries, we can see as many as...
Okay, that dude right there, man. This guy right there. That's actually a pretty safe way to go. I'm not saying it's completely safe. I've seen people do like trike wheelies on one side with those things because they still go fast. You can get those things to like side wheelie. It's crazy. But I think I'm gonna get my mom one of those. Those are actually pretty cool.
5 in a shift.
She tells me a lot of these kids are coming in with significant injuries like fractures. Dr. Hunter pointed to a combination of factors that make them dangerous, including inexperience with traffic laws.
I think people are overconfident when they get on bikes, especially children who have ridden a regular bike and they're thinking, oh, this is a normal bike. But there's a lot of horsepower behind these e-bikes. And so you can overcorrect or undercorrect.
Yes.
You can not really anticipate the braking mechanism or the speeding up mechanism.
While at the same time, AAA said drivers are still getting used to anticipating and responding to the fast-moving, low-profile vehicles. When it
That's 100% true. When you have kids being put on roads without road knowledge, that's a recipe for disaster. She said it. Kids are being overconfident because they've rode bikes for years and now they're given another bike. There's got to be more thought put into that. Parents, that's you. Like me, okay? I teach my children, these things are not toys. These are electric vehicles that you have to respect. The brakes are going to respond differently than regular bike brakes. Why? Because it's heavier. It goes faster. It's called physics, kids. Oh, my goodness.
comes to safety, Dr. Hunter said recognize the maturity level of the person on it and, of course, have the proper safety gear and.
That's 100% true, man. As a driver, I think it's important. If you see a kid on, something on the road, e-bike, e-scooter, whatever, right? And they don't look like they know very much about the rules of the road, I would drive carefully. Make sure that you don't squash them because they might be stupid and try to jump in front of you. That's just how it is. I tell my kids as new drivers, hey, look out for these guys. Look out for these immature people that don't know the rules of the road. Be careful. I think that's very, very valid.
And training.
Be seen. Make sure you're wearing bright colors.
Lynch started the Connor Lynch Legacy Fund, a way to bring awareness to scooter safety, the rules of the road, to protect yourself and be safe.
Make sure you're wearing, using your lights on your scooter to make sure that other cars can see you, because it just takes 5 seconds is all it would have taken either way of that car turning in front of Connor, and he would still be here.
Insane.
Wow, so I imagine the scooter going this way. There's an intersection with a building, kind of blinding the scooter's vision. Scooter's going 20. Maybe there's a stop sign. Maybe there's a traffic light. Maybe the scooter had the right of way. But we've seen it here. We've reviewed a lot of videos. And unfortunately, 9 times out of 10, it's the rider's fault, not the driver of the car. Unfortunately, I'm not saying that's what happened here, but we could kind of see a pattern going on. It's dangerous, man. It's dangerous. That's why on a scooter, I think you should go slower than a bike, man. Even though they can go 50 miles an hour. They can go 28 miles an hour. Whatever the top speeds are, they can. But doesn't mean you should, if you're not fully geared up like a motorcyclist with padding, armor, all that stuff, I wouldn't do it, dude. I really wouldn't.
Pete, Mary O'Connell, Tampa Bay 28.
And we've been talking about e-bike and e-scooter injuries for months now. Back in summer, I spoke with a different local pediatric ER doctor, Dr. Megan Martin, about the issue. She had actually made an Instagram video that went viral about a spike in injuries over the summer and why she was really concerned.
Okay.
And what do you tell parents when these kids come in? What's that conversation like?
I think it's really important to think of these e-bikes and e-scooters almost like motorcycles. Kids need to be in appropriate safety gear. They should be wearing helmets. They should be wearing not flip-flops or sandals, but full foot sneakers, covered shoes, covered toes. They should also be in long pants and long sleeves in case they were to crash.
Dr. Martin told me they started seeing an increase over the last couple of years, and it seems to be increasing year over year, those injuries.
So she said treat them like motorcycles. I don't agree, because you say stuff like that, then they're going to start making us get licenses and registrations for them, and we shouldn't have to. We shouldn't have to. They're electronic powered bikes, e-bikes, okay? I'm not talking about them Surons and the like. I'm talking about class 2, class 1, pedal assist, throttle assist e-bikes that go up to 20 miles per hour. Okay, please don't touch those. Leave those guys alone. Guys, let's be safe out there. And above all, stay rad. Cheers.